You can get 12, 14 hours of productivity out of yourself in a day and not be mentally exhausted and drained. Just because you have money does not mean you have wisdom. When you're called to faith, it's not about sales, it's about service. You can actually increase your desire for desire. I think that's the problem that the business world has is...
We're doing the same thing, right?
Yeah, let's go short. You've gone through a conversion process since you and I started working together, right?
Literally, we met and my life changed. Just coming in here and getting to know you guys and like seeing what the business was about. Cause I was like, how did this guy accumulate all this? You know, how's he on the hills? And little by little getting to know you, it's very personal when you're cutting somebody's hair. So
yeah,
I got to know you, got to know how your upbringing. And then I related to you, and that was kind of the part that made it more impactful.
Bro, you have transformed. You went from being a barber to a faith-based minister. Like you're not doing hair anymore. You're helping people with their soul.
Literally, I'm trying to extend the blessing that I learned from here.
Yeah.
To be of service to others, not only by giving them a haircut, but making that flip in their mind to shift.
What's the name of your barbershop?
New Life Barber Lounge.
New Life Barber Lounge. So when you have a name like New Life, you got a big responsibility when people sit in your chair.
Right, I feel like it's something that I have to kind of like really live out. Once I went through my little pitfalls and my trials and tribulations, when I really had to feel like New Life is gonna actually help me have a new life because of, meeting you and meeting other people in my life during that time that I was, mentally sick.
You got the calling when you were sick.
I was addicted to painkillers. COVID happened. People still need a haircut.
You're coming over during COVID.
I was coming over, and I was like, I had to make a living myself. COVID was a blessing and a curse. A lot of people, lost their jobs and everything, but I found myself during COVID.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
And
I just got the chills, bro. You found yourself during COVID.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
I did, and I remember leaving here and Prince needed a ride home. Prince was like, give me a ride, and everything Prince learned from you, he kind of piggybacked and told me like, hey, do this, and like one of the big things, we're getting off the exit on Roscoe off the 170. Never gonna forget this. He asked me, he's like, Enzo, what you need to do is figure out your why.
Wow.
Obviously, you were his mentor, so he kept talking to you in that form. Like, my mentor has taught me this, and the why is very important. And once you figure out your why, everything's gonna be easier to kind of figure out about yourself and heal yourself. And I dropped him off, I left, and the journey began of me asking myself like,
wow,
all right, what is going on, The next month I saw you again, and that's when I just really started asking you questions about that, like how to shift your mentality and how to get out of the hole that you're in mentally, spiritually, and then sometimes financially, you know what I mean? Because we're businessmen at the end of the day, so I learned a lot.
Bro, you've come a long way.
We have.
It's a blessing to witness your transformation and to know that you're healthy, you're taking better care of your kids and your family.
Right.
Your business is thriving, your faith is growing.
I feel like that's where God really has taught me in the last few years, the lesson of stewardship and service, that nothing is mine and everything I should do, I should dedicate it to Him. So
a lot of times in business, we talk a lot about sales, right?
Right.
Got to make sales, make money. When you're called to faith, it's not about sales, it's about service. The sales come from the service. So if you lead with service, you'll get the sales. If you lead with sales, you won't get the results you're looking for.
Right, because the energy, people could feel that you're in it for the wrong reason.
Yeah, like if you're like showing up here because you're trying to get paid all the time, I don't want that in my house.
Right.
But if you show up here because you're gonna give me a service and we're gonna have a great conversation and we're gonna grow together, you're gonna help me look better, I'm gonna help you think better.
Think better, literally.
Yeah, right, and it's a service. I think that's the problem that the business world has, is they think the solution to everything is sales, and it's not, it's service. It's real easy too to get caught up in like, what's in it for me, what's in it for me. When I see my clients, I get life, like literally my clients pour life into me. When I see them grow, when I see them take action, overcome obstacles, go deeper into their values.
Right.
It gives me life.
It's like gratifying to see somebody grow. It's the same thing that I'm getting now and experiencing, but this is something I'm also encountering too, where I'm encountering people that I want to push to grow and be better, but they don't want to. So I keep having to feel like, hey, I guess I gotta be like Jesus and just get my stuff and walk away from these people, because they don't want to grow. And then it's like, I love you, but if you don't want to grow, I can't really make the tree grow for you, you got to plant the seed and water it yourself, you know?
Yeah, my grandma used to say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Right.
There's an ingredient necessary for growth, and it's called desire. My mentor, great rabbi named Eliyahu John, teaches a lot about the subject of desire. And desire is something that you have to have, and some of us have big desire, and some of us have small desire. But you can actually increase your desire for desire. Think about that.
How would that be?
So most people don't realize that they have a desire level, meaning right now, I have a certain amount of desire. It's Sunday. If you put a book in front of me, do I have the desire to read it right now? Maybe a little.
Right.
Am I gonna pick it up and read the whole thing between now and Monday? Probably not.
Right.
Now on another day, if you drop that book off, I read the whole thing, I can't put it down. I have an appetite for it, right? Some other days my appetite's weak. So there's things in our lives that degrade our appetite. They reduce our desire. There's things that actually diminish your desire, and there's things that increase it. What I like to do is I like to say, God, please increase my desire for desire. My prayer is, dear God, I want more desire for you. I want more desire to advance the kingdom. I want more desire to serve my brothers and sisters. I want more desire to innovate, to create, to expand your calling for me, not mine. And how do I increase my desires? I pray, but it's like I get myself in a rhythm of prayer where I'm feeling hungry. I'm hungry for God. I'm hungry for what's next. I'm hungry for the growth. I'm hungry for the opportunities that are going to present themselves for me to grow. What increases your capacity? So wisdom is one ingredient to increasing capacity. What else increases your capacity?
Dang, that's a good question.
All right, so
being coachable.
Yeah, all right, being coachable, having mentors, teachable. What's that? What's it mean when you're coachable? It means you're humble, right?
Humble, right.
You might have all the desire in the world. I want to be a billionaire, but my ego isn't coachable. So good luck with that.
Right.
Right? You got to learn from others. Doesn't mean you have to learn from everyone, but you got to learn from somebody. Now, another thing that increases our capacity is skills.
That also increases your value.
Yeah, well, think about the skills that it takes to change the world. Like, think about that. You have to talk, you have to present, you have to speak, you have to communicate.
Empower.
You have to learn how to lead.
Right.
You have to learn how to assess people. You have to learn how to teach. You have to learn how to hold people accountable. You have to learn systems.
As wise as we can become, God could put us right back down at the bottom. And we had to be humble and being able to be recognized. This is not ours. This is just borrowed.
Yeah. If anything you learn from my story, learn humility. That's great.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I have been humbled.
You've been very frank and vulnerable with me to tell me the moments that you've been humbled. So it's interesting to just see how it didn't defeat you though. You know what I'm saying? It taught you a lesson that now your wisdom is teaching me, so that now I don't have to fall in that same path.
I want to get back to the original question you asked around how do you help other people grow?
Right.
When they don't have the desire. You try to teach them that their desire is at a certain place. You try to share with them, hey, here's where I'm seeing your desire is at right now for growth, for the word, for your relationship with God, for doing what's right. I see
for your health.
For your health. This is where I'm seeing your desire. But not everybody has a lot of desire, man. Some people, they don't have it. Compassion is stopping suffering. So if I know that somebody's suffering, I have to stop it. I have to take action to stop the suffering. If I tolerate a person suffering on my duty, and I actually condone that, maybe it's easier for me to continue their suffering and allow them to suffer because maybe I don't have to pay them as much money or I don't have to get uncomfortable and address conflict. I can just allow them to suffer, then I'm actually not being spiritual. So when people say you gotta cut fringe, you gotta
because that's kind of where I was getting to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's no, you don't. You have to set them free. It's not them that's the issue, it's you're the issue. It's hey, in this friend group, I'm not inspiring you enough to grow. I'm not stimulating you enough to be happy. You're not gonna be happy being in my friend group. You gotta go find another friend group. Or you gotta go find someone else. Not because I'm better than you, but because you're better than this. We gotta realize that you can have friends at multiple levels. You can put them on level 1 friendship, which means they're just basic. Level 2, that means that you're closer. Level 3, you're talking to them often. Level 4, you're talking to them every day.
Right.
Level 5, anything goes on in your life, they know about it. You're only gonna have 1 or 2 people at level 5 that you trust that much. In your lifetime, you might have 5 people that get to level 5. You might have 3 people that get to level 4. You'll have 10 people that get to level 3.
The rest
You'll
are
have
acquaintances.
100 people at level 2. and you'll meet 1,000 people at level 1.
Right.
So we just oftentimes assign, too much trust to people that haven't earned it.
Right. Based off longevity. Because, you've been in my circle long, or you've been in the vicinity long enough.
Yeah, but you gotta, trust has to be earned. You cannot trust a person who doesn't trust themselves.
And if they don't trust themselves because they're not committed to their own.
Yeah, like if I can't honor my own commitments to myself,
and that's where I'm
how am I
starting
gonna
to
honor
learn.
commitments to you?
Right.
If I'm breaking promises to myself all day long, well, I'm gonna be breaking promises to you too, because I'm gonna break promises to everybody. If I'm breaking them to me, there's no way I can honor promises to others and I'm not
it's crazy that you're
honoring
saying
them
that.
myself.
That's how I took the gym working out. And I have 3 kids that are like, Dad, pick me up, Dad, this, that. And I'm like, okay, I need to really hold myself accountable and keep this promise to myself.
Yeah.
Because if I want to live longer,
Yeah.
if I don't want to look as good as you at your age, I need to work out. And I see you 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning working out. So I was like, what's my excuse? What's really?
I'm glad I can inspire you.
Nah, I'm telling you, it's been.
My old ass is inspiring the
I've
younger
been
generation.
here in the morning where like, oh, I gotta cut you at 7 or 8.
Yeah.
I'm like, Ryan, how long you been at it already? Oh, I got up at 5 to work out. I got up at 4:30 to work out. I'm like, bro, what? You're worth how much money and you still waking up at that time? And then I thought it was a gimmick, but it's really not.
No.
It's like habits that you've built that those habits get you into a certain place in life.
It's not whether or not you wake up early. It's the discipline you have in your life. So I happen to be more active and more productive early in the morning. Other people are very productive at night hours, right? Like 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. they're getting a lot done. They're doing magical stuff at those hours, right? I happen to start at 3 a.m. and go till 8 p.m. Other people might start at 3 p.m. and go to 8 a.m. Doesn't matter. It's like, what is your most optimized, most productive?
So that's also figuring out that's something about yourself. Like, when is the best time I peak, where I operate the best?
When's my mind the sharpest? When's my creativity at its height?
So true.
Now, for me, it's really early in the morning. It's still dark out. I laugh because I have friends in the music biz. They're like going to sleep right when I'm waking up. And they're catching the muses from 12 midnight to 4 a.m. and I'm catching them from 4 a.m. till sunrise, right? Same kind of concept.
And do you feel like it's also the stuff you eat and things like that, or is it like just...
Oh yeah, the idea is that your energy is at a peak state where you're able to be sharp, clear, have clarity, have conviction, have fun, and you're able to do that for extended periods of time while serving others, not just while chilling out by yourself.
Right.
And so if you can refill your tank as you expend your energy, you can fill your tank up, and you can do that consistently throughout the day, you can get 12, 14 hours of productivity out of yourself in a day and not be mentally exhausted and drained.
Your mind's a powerful thing once you start telling yourself, all right, this is what we're gonna do.
It takes years to build that stamina though. There's some nuance to it too. For example, if you show up to a meeting and you have the thought, this is gonna be hard, that's gonna drain you. If you show up to the meeting and you have the thought, this is gonna be fun.
We're gonna kill this meeting.
Yeah, it's gonna be so much fun. That's gonna add light to you. So your thinking actually dictates your experience. And so if your thinking is negative, your experience will be negative too, and you'll be drained by putting in a 12-hour day.
Have you ever dealt with somebody in your circle being like a negative Nancy or like a pessimist and like...
Yeah, I have been that way. When I go back and I look at my thoughts, I can find negativity in them. We all do. How you greet a situation. It's real simple. It's like when you get on the freeway and there's traffic, do you say, oh, this traffic's terrible?
Right.
Or do you say like, oh, I get to pop in an audiobook. This is gonna be rad. I'm gonna practice my singing.
Right.
Or do you get all bent out of shape and complain about traffic?
Do you think that men in this era are running away from suffering or discomfort?
I think that most men are struggling because they don't know how God works. We get caught up in this culture. We're told we need to be a certain way.
Right.
And we're told to be admired and to have status and to be successful, we have to do certain things. And these modern day gurus are telling you, to do this and do that. And like we get advice from unwise people. Just because you have money does not mean you have wisdom. Ooh. Our society believes the more money you have, the wiser you are, and that is not the case. I know lots of very wealthy people that are not very smart. Maybe they're very smart, but they're not very wise. And
there's a difference in that.
Big difference. I was talking to a guy the other day. He'd made $100 million in cash, and he's suffering more than people I know that have $1 million in the bank, have $500,000 in the bank. He can't stop thinking about his money. All he does is wake up and try to protect his wealth all day long. I was talking to him like, that's That's why you're in this position, because your God is now money. And that's not why you got the money, and that's not how you got the money. You didn't get the money so that you would spend all day long thinking about your money. You got the money so you could do good with it, so you could serve with it, so you could build something, so you can make a difference in the world. And instead you're speculating and spending all day long trying to figure out how to.
Instead of being a vessel, you're holding up the dam.
Yeah,
you're the dam holding up the flow of money that should be like circulating to other people.
You become a swamp. You become a swamp, not a spring. The reason why we're supposed to have abundance as kingdom building entrepreneurs is so that way we can be springs of life to others. But yeah, when it comes time for your foundation, I think that's noble.
Right.
I also think that you have the opportunity to really serve people. What you're doing is a gift. You know, you're making people look good and feel good about themselves.
Right.
And you have no idea how much goodwill and how much karma you create every time you cut somebody. Like, I'm gonna film more video because of you. I'm gonna take more pictures because of you. I'm gonna share more on social media because of you. I'm gonna feel better about myself when I'm on air or I'm giving a speech. And everyone I impact, you have a bit of ownership in that impact.
Right. No, I definitely feel like I take a lot of gratitude and a lot of joy in providing the service and giving people haircuts. That's why every year.
Think about this. Like, you cut me up nice. Big She puts me on camera. I film a video. It goes viral. Millions of people saw it.
And it's gonna impact them because they saw a positive.
Your indirect impact is far greater than your direct impact. But by the way, just to witness your growth, it's tremendous. When you converted your barbershop into a ministry, is when I was like, wow, this idea of faith-based entrepreneurship, doing things with faith. Like, you could take a barbershop where you could be chopping it up, playing low vibrational music, talking about terrible stuff, further in the enemy's work, or you can turn that barbershop into a place where life is given, where the word is spoken, and where people actually receive blessings just by showing up and sitting in your chair.
I have one chair available still, right? And I have the barbers always asking me, like, how come you haven't got somebody? They're thinking like, oh, get somebody, you're losing money with the empty chair. They don't understand that my mind has shifted to, I need somebody that's gonna operate in that same aura. I keep praying to God, God's gonna send me the right person. I don't need for me to promote me getting a barber. I could just wait patiently and God's gonna send the right person. One, we pray for the right person. We get very serious about what we're looking for. And then two, we take action. Every prayer has to be accompanied with action. The reason why a lot of people don't get their prayers answered is they then don't take appropriate action. I wanted to meet a soulmate, and I sit in my house thinking they're gonna knock on my door. It's like, God could do that, but God wants me to earn it. God wants me to take the action, go through the trial and error, so I could find the person that I'm looking for and know that person when I meet them. Man, say that louder for the people in the back, please. So a lot of times we just pray and we're like, oh, I want, it's like, no, you want the character, you want the strength, you want the creativity, you want to be a person who attracts the people that you're seeking. Right. And that's how you attract talent. That's how you attract talent that's called to serve your organization. The spiritual walk, the walk towards spiritual maturity, means we get to a place where we vibrate in energies of love, peace, patience, joy, goodness, kindness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. And when you see a man, ask yourself, does he have self-control? Does he have faithfulness? Does he have goodness, kindness, gentleness, joy, peace, patience, love? Does he have those attributes? How often is he in those attributes or out of those attributes? The walk for all of us is to be men who bear those fruits. That's it. That's all it is. And so if I wake up every day filled with peace, patience, joy, love, gentleness, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control, right? Like, I'm good. That's all I need to do. That's what a man should be. But we think in our society a man should be tough and mean and take action and fight. Be an asshole. Yeah, and look, some of these people that embody those virtues, they are demonstrating self-control to some degree, highly disciplined people, but they're not embodying the other virtues, right? So to get the whole package, you got to embody 9 fruits of the Spirit. That's a lot. Right. That's not easy. You have to develop a character that can live in those 9. All of us have constant and never-ending improvements. None of us will master all of it completely. In our lifetime, huh? Not that I'm aware of. I've met a lot of people, and I've not met one that embodies all 9 perfectly. Wow, look at that, man. All right, Ryan, there you are. Thank you, sir. New Life AlterCall.
God bless. All right,
Have a good one, man. Thank
brother.
you. Appreciate
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, share, help boost this video. I want to get the word out about my work, and I could use your help. Thank you so much, and God bless. If you want to learn more about how I help entrepreneurs scale their businesses and the work that I do with regard to culture, I'm offering an hour of my time to 8-figure entrepreneurs scaling to 9 figures, or if you're a 9-figure entrepreneur scaling to 10, I'd be happy to talk to you for an hour where we can dive into tactics and strategies on culture or anything else that you're up against as an entrepreneur scaling. It's on me because I want to meet people doing big things in the world, and I want to share with you what I'm up to as well. Go ahead and click on Learn More, book your time, and I look forward to meeting you.